Hello! Welcome back. I think my audio's fixed this time. I don't know. Either way, let's get back to some more Jinjo Mail. Hey there, George. You've talked about how you and a friend were going to make video games. So what was the game originally supposed to be before you quit working on it? Also, how far did you get into developing the game? Side note, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. That one guy in your server, again. Wow, thanks. I just noticed that, fucking lower my computer volume. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I did notice that this second channel here has hit 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I didn't realize that, throwing this... I thought, this video stuff is kind of like a useless accessory, It's just kind of like for like the 0.001% of people that are interested in what this 3D guy that was in people's memory for like 2 hours does on like a weekly basis or whatever. But yeah, I guess, people like stopping by it, I guess. I don't really know. Like on the last video, it had like how I don't know if you upload if you've seen this before, if you've uploaded to YouTube. Well, for those that don't know, like once you hit 10 uploads, what YouTube starts doing when you start uploading videos is that it starts ranking your newest upload video on like a rank from 1 to 10, saying like 1 being this is your best video in your past 10 videos and view wise, but if it gets a rank 10, that means this has been your worst video in like getting views wise of your 10 most recent ones, and that last video was 10 of 10. So I guess I don't know how many people are actually watching this, but whatever the case, I'm not doing this for views or anything. Obviously, I'm just doing this for myself, and then just keep people who are wondering knowing that, hey, I'm still alive, I'm still out here on the internet, just not on my main channel yet, still figuring out a job and shit. Oh my god, I forgot to answer the question. Well, whatever the case, the answer is pretty short, honestly, and I think it's our first game. I remember it now. We were just kind of like throwing random shit in the word generator, and one of them was like chores. We're like, hey, would it be cool if we get like a sort of like a combination of like a cookie clicker game and like a 4-directional top-down movement thing where it's like adventure capitalist mobile game, but you move around and you do chores, and then you buy a machine to do the chores for you. And we thought it was the coolest shit, and we like made like 2 screenshots in like Paint or PowerPoint or whatever. And then we never actually learned the engine. We basically never even started. So I'm glad that we at least thought about starting it anyway, or coming up with a game idea that we were going to make, because then it that's how we came up with that name Wavetro, which we called Wavetro at the time, and then that was back in 2016, and then we never did that. So I just sat on the name until I needed a new channel name later, and lo and behold, now it's my new name for shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The cool thing of why I mentioned about like the name having been in existence just now publicly since 2016 is because if you type @Wavetro on Twitter, it's suspended. It's been like that since 2016 when we first thought of the name. There's some random spam bot. If you're logged into a Twitter account and you go to @Wavetro, it gives you like this blank profile and it says April Summer. So I guess it's some spam bot trying to be some pretty lady or whatever. I don't know. Whatever the case, I hope that answers your question. Sorry about that weird tangent at the beginning, but yeah, 1,000 subs. I guess I'll be able to post on a community tab on this channel two. I don't know what I'll be really honestly using it for. Probably nothing really. Anyways, next question. Hello, George. I got a couple questions for the funny Jinjo videos. 1. What's your experience with doing your videos, or more generally, your hobby, while in school? I've seen prolific artists whose output is unaffected with school. I'd really like to hear some tips for putting out stuff while school/college takes chunks of your time and energy. All right, this is a 2-parter. So, part 1, doing work while school. I guess I'll reference Stickman 2020 in my college year of 2020. So the reason why I was able to make videos weekly at first, or as frequently as Stickman 2020 was the first 5 videos were in January when I didn't have class. So I just had literally all the time to myself to do whatever, and I just threw it all in on this Stickman series that I figured out a formula for and was like, super excited about doing. And then once class started, I kind of realized that semester, it was really easy for me. It was kind of scummy, but it was really easy for me to like hide how much I actually knew about like certain assignments or software, so I could pretend that I was learning and doing more work and pushing myself more than I actually was, so I had more time to do weekly Stickman videos. And then I stopped in May to try setting up a Patreon, and then I tried starting again, and wouldn't you know it, I actually wasn't able to work on it or stay as motivated on it as well, because it took too much time to juggle both Patreon exclusive videos and mainline videos. So basically I dropped the Patreon, and by then my summer was basically half over, and I was too burned out after my momentum, and I was trying to regain it. Then my other semester of 2020 kicked in, and this semester was with stupid humanities and paper and English and reading and writing garbage that you can't wriggle yourself out of. So that basically killed my any chance I had of resuming my output of Stickman 2020. So, to be honest, school does affect my ability to do my other creative stuff. If you can get it to work, like if you really want to put a bunch of effort into your creative work while school's in session, definitely the fact that you have school deadlines will keep you in this state of I'd rather be doing this, and then you can easily do that, versus on a summer vacation where you have to have a good habit from the beginning of the summer, otherwise you've already fucked yourself and you're going to have a summer of being lazy and doing nothing and not wanting to do that thing, right? So, but the thing is you have to be able to put your schoolwork in a way where you procrastinate it, so that you procrastinate the work with the creative thing you do, and so you might maybe lose out on video game time or hanging out with friends time or even sleep. But then once you do the thing you want to do, then you can go back to the schoolwork and then just rush it together with the bare minimum that you need to do to just scrape by, and that's how it usually goes. I don't know. I can't speak for other people. There are other people out there who are really, they're not human, dude. They're the other people who can do the work literally no matter what. They probably go outside, have a loving family, maybe even exercise, and maybe even have a fucking girlfriend. It's some people are just are so mentally have it fucking figured out. It's not even fair. Meanwhile, I have to scramble for whatever attention span or productivity I can get, right? But whatever the case, that's how it is for me. I'm trying not to talk in circles here. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. Let me see if I can wrap it up in the meantime, or at least try to, sum up my points. Overall, I usually use my projects to procrastinate my schoolwork, and sometimes it's not possible to, and you really have no choice but to take an L on your creative output. And that's something I haven't heard in a while. Take an L. What is this? 2020? Was this 2019? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. So it's really honestly how much you want of your school quality or schoolwork or grades to suffer, or your sleep to suffer. You have to think long term, saying okay, if I take this out of my life to put in these creative projects, is it worth the trade-off, And for me, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But your mileage may vary. If you still have any questions about that, shoot me another email. I'll gladly elaborate on it in another video. But otherwise, I'll move on to your second question. And about hobbies, have you tried any apart from 3D animation? Any other kind of art like music, drawing, or who knows, growing plants? And at what point did you realize 3D animation is what you wanted to do for content? Oh my god, so many good questions in this one. Hang on, let me split this into another two. I'm going to start with, have you tried any other hobbies apart from 3D animation? And I got a great answer for you. For the past, 7 years? No. Just no. This goes into an answer I said before, but for the longest time, I kind of guilted myself out of not doing any other hobbies until I figured out what I wanted to do with 3D, which is very unhealthy, and I recommend you never fucking do that to yourself. But that's how I kind of just cornered myself for years. So it's throwing shit at a wall to figure out how to make 3D work in a YouTube context. And now that I got that, like I said, for the longest time I was trying to figure out the formula that eventually landed me at Stickman 2020 and that kind of style of balancing 3D quality but also speed and quantity and all that shit, not because 3D is not really a very fast turnaround time medium versus 2D animators that can put out a 15-second shit post they can draw together in a day or a week and then just put it out there, right? it's harder to do that in 3D without like absolutely destroying the fucking quality of the models or just going full shitpost like surreal animation or surreal entertainment or something. But now that I figured that out, like, what is it? Now that I'm past that, I have been more open to trying out shit. Like, for example, I've been thinking a lot about how much because I listen to a lot of music, but I've tried making it a few times and always gave up because it was, you know, it's hard to get into, and it's also like you're also just kind of sitting there like, Jesus Christ, this is time I could use spending on 3D. What am I doing with this? Music is someone else's job. If I need music, I'll get someone else to do the music, whatever. But now I'm sitting here like, well, now that I'm busy, like, taking a year off from 3D, I'm looking at this music thing, and it's like, it seems kind of cool. But what's really made me think about music a lot is just seeing Daft Punk quit. Because, you know, for the longest time, like, forever, like, just to gauge, like, the fact that Daft Punk has basically been around since, like, years before I was even born. I remember, like, in middle school when Random Access Memories came out, and people are talking about like the Giorgio Moroder meme, and how I listened to it. It's like because you know I really only listen like beep boop 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 music, and I was like, oh yeah, Daft Punk, they make beep boop boop. Let me listen to this, and the only song I liked on there was Contact. I was like, I don't really get it. And then like later on, my taste like expanded a little more, but then And then, like, in high school, when I had a Facebook account, I was, like, saying, oh, yeah, Daft Punk. And then I didn't really listen to their music, but I was, like, looking at the Facebook profile, and they were silent. They were radio silent. It was, like, 2017. Like, where are these guys at? I thought Contact was pretty cool. When are they going to make more music? And then fast forward today when you hear, and then my music taste finally, like, branched out the most. Shout out James for that. And other friends, like, who else? Nick. Alex, other server regulars, like, fucking, god damn it, Osha Dalfaluna, like, people from the Explodatorium Rave on Turntable and all that shit, whatever the case, like. And then I came back to Random Access Memories after the duo basically split, and it's like, oh, shit, wait, I get it now, and then you go back to the music, and you, like, it all clicks together now that my brain is, like, more developed and not like a fucking adolescent, like, saying, I only want fucking the Mountain Dew equivalent of music, just like fucking loaded up with sugar and beep boop 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 noise, right? But where was I going with this? When I saw them quit, I was like, oh shit, I just entered my 20s. This is probably gonna be like my last shot, not only with music, but with any new hobby in general that I could start doing at, and then in a few years I can be pretty good at the very least, versus, you know, starting when I'm 30 or 40, and then I'm kind of stuck with my limited neuroplasticity, you know? So I have been thinking a lot about starting other shit. I don't really want to talk about what I plan on or act on doing, just because, like, the moment I put it out there, suddenly there's pressure for me to, like, maybe rush to do more of it, and I really just want to go at my own speed or whatever the fuck, right? So, yeah, I have been thinking about other hobbies now, but only recently. Now, only since like January, when I finally like released myself from the 3D demon, and I'm now like, you know, stepping out into the sunlight again of, you know, not being a closed-minded fuck about not spending every single waking moment of my life on 3D. But yeah. And so the second part of your second question, which is, at what point did you realize 3D animation was what you wanted to do for content? It was basically, I basically willed my way into it. Like, I forced myself into it. Because, like, early on, after I quit stop motion on my old channel that I ran as a kid, and I was kind of lost, and, you know, I was entering, like, you know, puberty and getting very bad mood swings for the first time and trying to cope with finding an identity or whatever. I eventually, like, find out about Blender and 3D and people like Beeple, and he says, like, oh, go read this book, The War of Art, or The War on Art, or whatever. And then you read it, and you just kind of, like, for the first time, get hit with this philosophy of, what the fuck are you doing? Just shut up and go do something every day. Just throw shit together on this 3D viewport or canvas or whatever. Just see where you're at and just go, go, go. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'll go, go, go. And then I, like, started practicing 3D every day, and I realized, oh shit, wait, I should totally use this to bring back my stop motion characters. And then I, like, tried doing that, and then that basically didn't work out because of how many moving parts it did, and then became, like, the years-long journey of trying to find a 3D video format that does work with YouTube, you know, something I can make regularly enough so I don't lose my goddamn mind, while also not being, like, such low quality that's basically shitpost or trash tier. And then, that's basically how I, like, I basically cornered myself into making 3D my thing because, like, I don't know, like, given, well, not given, looking back on, like, cause getting into 3D, this all happened, like, during my high school years, where, I was just kind of bummed out about everything, but there was an escape, and that was bury your feelings in 3D. Just go home, don't talk to anyone at high school, just pop open this laptop, just do 3D, just do it. And while, no, it's not healthy, it definitely, cemented, my space in, I talk about this all the time. 80% of the work I do is all in Blender 3D, because it's just what I've made myself use for so many years, and just like, you know, and then that closed-mindedness of like not wanting to try out other hobbies is what also is the reason why I'm so fucking terrible at like using other 3D software. Like I only know the ins and outs of specifically Blender and not 3D in general, you know. But whatever the case, I made it work for myself, and now I feel more relaxed to, you know, branch out and try new things and not, you know, create a fucking self-pressure on myself and whatever, because it was really fucking unhealthy what I put myself in. Granted, like I said, it did get me through. It was a get-out-of-jail-free card from a lot of, like, you know, teenage angst, right? It was basically, I get to skip all that, but at the cost of, like, entering adulthood and, like, being this fucking, like, narrow-minded, fucking jaded dude who's just like, no, stop it. I don't have time for that right now. I have to figure out this 3D thing. And then, ideally what should have happened in, like, this character development arc or whatever we'll call it, right, is that eventually I realized, no, this won't work. I have to let this dream go. But what ended up happening anyways, that I figured it out anyway, and, you know, Stickman 2020, and now here I am, 5 months later after having finished, you know, Stickman 2020, and it's like, wow, I can breathe again. I probably should have done it earlier, but hey, at least I have all this great 3D knowledge to go with it. So, I hope that answers your question. Kind regards, servers, local Fruit Loops hobby. Oh, I should have read that out earlier. Yeah, whatever. And now this last one. This last question last email has 6 questions. Thank you so much, because like I only had 3 emails, and this last one just came in today, and it was like, thank you, so much to talk about. Perfect. Now it's on screen right now, but I'm not going to do question 2 because that one's it says here, what's your biggest fear? That one's kind of. I don't want to examine that one. I don't want to really think about it. I might terrify myself or piss my pants, or like, you know, just let alone like expose a vulnerability to the internet of like, here's my biggest fear. Haha, I would be ashamed if somebody did something with it, right? So let's do questions 1 and 3 through 6. Question 1. What do you think about Friday Night Funkin'? Friday Night Funkin'. At first, when that debuted on Newgrounds, I was like, because, you know, I've been on Newgrounds, like, ever since the beginning of Stickman 2020. They're literally, I literally owe Newgrounds like a huge amount of credit for Stickman 2020's success early on, right? So yeah, I still go on Newgrounds every now and then I remember seeing it like Friday Night Funkin'. It's like, oh, what is this? And I like open it up. It's like, oh, there's that classic Newgrounds art style that Phantom Arcade does, and it was made by Ninja Muffin and music by Kawaii Sprite. You know, the one guy I always see posting music on Newgrounds a lot, and you know, Ninja Muffin I also see in Newgrounds in general a lot, just like sort of does a bit of everything. But this time it was doing programming, and I also guess game direction or whatever. Not sure. And then I was like saying, oh yeah, cool, it's the DDR, I guess, right? You push the arrows. It's like the Flash game from Club Penguin, except, you know, that was also a ripoff of DDR. You just push the arrows, and I didn't really see like the huge hype for it. It's like, okay, cool, it's a rhythm game where you push the beep beep pop 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 beep pop pop, whatever, right? It's like, okay, cool. It's a cool game, and yeah, I'm glad Newgrounds has cool games like that. I'm not trying to say that I wasn't like impressed. Like, of course I was impressed, because like fucking game development is terrifying, right? And, you know, pulling that together and of that quality on Newgrounds is amazing. I just did not expect it, for what the game is, like, you know, push the arrows to the beat game. I did not expect it to receive the attention it did, because, you know, this is like years after Newgrounds was like really just barely visited, and all of a sudden, people are like flocking to Newgrounds playing Friday Night Funkin'. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, this is what it took to bring back huge amounts of traffic to Newgrounds after all these years? Like a push the arrows rhythm game? I don't get it. I guess maybe people were nostalgic for the... Well, maybe not nostalgic, because there's a lot of like really young people that like Friday Night Funkin'. Maybe both nostalgic and also like being introduced to the Newgrounds, I guess, art style or whatever of Phantom Arcade and stuff was like, oh, that looks cool, and then you come for the you show up from seeing either the memes or the gameplay footage, and you stay for the gameplay, which is basically where Ninja Muffin would come in, or you come for the music, where obviously it's a music game where Kawaii Sprite would come in. All kind of folds in on itself. But I did not expect it to blow up as big as it did. It's like, what? See, this, and then it just kept growing bigger. Like, it became a big thing on TikTok. It became like there was all these people putting in their original characters into the game because you could mod it, and there's a whole bunch of memes, and of course, naturally, it became the new scapegoat for people who shat on Undertale or Among Us kitties, right? I mean, granted, that's not to say that there aren't, like, because like I talked about this in like the thoughts on cringe culture video, right? No matter what, middle school age and like early high school kids or whatever, they're gonna make themselves look like complete asses of themselves, and they're gonna be embarrassed. And I think it's totally normal to be like made fun of for like not knowing in social situations when to like calm down about what you're interested in, and not letting like one game or one YouTuber on Twitter define your personality, right? That being said, it did become the new Undertale, and I didn't really see the point of like, what is it, for whatever, I guess like I said, ever since 2020, I exited Twitter, probably not correlated at all. I've been just kind of like when it comes to the new cringy game. Like, back when Undertale was out, I was like, oh, fuck, stupid Undertale, I can't believe I played this game. Now it's cringe. All these stupid cringe kids. All those stupid fucking tutorial, fucking sand spaghetti. It's annoying. I'm so sick of this shit, right? And now it's like Friday Night Funkin's like, oh, look at these dumb kids putting in their, like, really gaudy and brightly colored OCs into the game, and it's like, oh, look, they're also like, here's a kid who dressed up as boyfriend, and he's in his school, and he's like going beep beep boop beep boop 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 in public. And I mean, obviously it's still embarrassing, but the point is like I wasn't bothered by it. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, wait, why wasn't I bothered by that? And if you want to continue that train of thought, you can go back to that old video, Thoughts on Cringe Culture. But I think it's like, you know what? Good for fucking Newgrounds, especially good for, the team. There's like 4 people. I forgot the 4th person's name, but like, and then like came the Kickstarter, which kind of solidified the fact that Friday Night Funkin' is just a force to be it's just a I don't know, is it force to be or not to be reckoned with? I don't know the fucking saying. $1.4 million on Kickstarter. God fucking damn! Imagine being like, I don't know how old Ninja Muffin is. I'm gonna assume he's a college student like me. Imagine being a college student, minding your own business, and you upload a game. And then fast forward 6 months later, you're a fucking millionaire. Holy shit, right? Obviously, I'm not trying to focus on the money too much, but it's the point being like the success of these Newgrounds people now being able to do what they love for a living, and it's for the next few years anyway. And it's like, wow, God, motherfucking damn, right? I didn't do that right. I'm no Chester Stone, right? But whatever the case, yeah, good for Friday Night Funkin'. Do I actually play the game? No, I'm not really interested in it. I like played like a free player tutorial for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, cool, yeah, it's DDR, and I just closed it off. Like, the characters really like don't interest me that much, but I gotta hand it to like the community and like obviously the developers themselves for like creating a game that people absolutely love. Again, like, not my cup of tea, because I'm just a boring fuck that only worries about like the next K folder or my next 3D video or Super Flame. Right, I don't really exactly have a very high bar for, not high bar, don't actually have a very high class taste of games, especially since I also spend pretty much all my free time rotting on YouTube watching videos about fucking I don't know, Linux or fucking the McDonald's ice cream machine conspiracy. Well, not a conspiracy. I guess it is basically a conspiracy, but now it's basically blown wide open how like it's a monopoly of like this one company abusing McDonald's owners to pay for ridiculous repairs for a broken machine and shit, right? Whatever the case. Yeah, those are my thoughts on Friday Night Funkin'. Let's go to question number 3. Will you ever make a video reacting to older videos from the RobotUnderscore and Cooler Now 1 to 3 times? That's a good idea, honestly. My only issue is that like it's also my issue with excuse me. One of the issues is why I'm touchy on returning to Cooler Now 123 is because Cooler Now 123, you know, the videos I made in my stop motion and my start on YouTube in general is with the kids toy called a relatively known kids toy called Go-Go's Crazy Bones. And if you put any sort of video out like that on YouTube, YouTube will be like, oh, I detect a children's property, an intellectual property of a children's toy or show. I'm going to mark this as for kids, which means you will not be able to leave comments on it, and boom, there goes like one of the big reasons why I do YouTube in the first place, right? The comments, like, what the fuck? So, yeah, honestly, I'm iffy on the Cooler Now 123 one. I might fucking risk it anyway. Maybe I'll like do one big long video so I can obscure the fact that that Cooler Now 123 was based around a children's toy. But definitely, like, I could also, like, you know, react to old RobotUnderscore videos. Like, I mean, you know, those are like prime videos, not Amazon. Right? That's like perfect videos to, like, for me to like go back and talk about shit and stuff, right? And normally, if this was like 2016, you'd be like, "What the fuck, reaction videos? You're worse than Satan." But at this point, like, reaction videos have somehow willed their way into existence and normalcy that I literally watch Graham Stephan react to videos about people who spend their money terribly, right? It's like, okay, fuck it, you win reaction videos, you're in, I guess, right? There's like a time and place and a proper way to do reaction videos, I guess, right? But, whatever the case, yeah, I'll think about that. That's a cool idea. You might have to... Honestly, if it goes like for months or like weeks on end and I don't do it, you could probably just poke me again about it. Say, hey, don't forget to do it. Hey, don't forget to do it. And then eventually be like, oh, yeah, I should probably do that. You know, just so there's more than one thing on this second channel other than Wave Troll plays Superflight and talks to himself like a schizophrenic. Number 4. Before 3D, what did you want to do with your life? I don't fucking know, and I still don't fucking know what I want to do with my life. Here's the problem, right? Like I said, when in the earlier question, when I was talking about how I basically forced myself to do 3D and only 3D with 3D. What am I, British? Okay, I was saying in an earlier question how I was forcing myself to only do 3D during like my high school years, and how it was both a blessing and a curse. Blessing being that I basically got a get out of jail free card and avoided years of teenage angst. But as a result, I was stuck in like this single lane tunnel. It's like how you imagine you're like on a highway, and then there's like a lane that says, shift this lane to go to your town at an express pace, or fucking, that's so poorly worded, but like, you know how like on the highway, you can like take the local road so you can like exit whenever you want, and then there's like the express road where like you're stuck on the road, but you can get there faster, but you can't exit for like a long time. That's basically what 3D was, right? So I was just like, forcing myself to do it, and then I couldn't exit for like fucking 7 years. But, you know, once I did, then I was able to like kind of reorient myself, figure out where I am and things. And the problem with that is that that's only pretty recently, right? And I've only been able to reflect on, oh, what else could I do with, you know, with hobbies and stuff? What should I do when I graduate in a fucking week? Jesus Christ, I'm graduating in a week. Shit like that. And I can tell you what I've been thinking about now, right? So obviously, I have a very, very stilted skill set, right? It's all on this Blender 3D shit that no really industry professional wants. I could maybe do freelance if I knew how to fucking find work and also deal with taxes or whatever, right? But you know, it'd be probably a long process before I could figure out how to like actually make it pay the bills. Although the thing about freelance is, even though it's a riskier game to get into, if you can figure it out, you can like fucking pull in big bank once you've like figured out where markets are and shit. Like, this is a matter of like, it's like what David O'Reilly once said. You gotta find a money leak and stand under it. If you don't know who David O'Reilly is, he's like this 3D animator that I'm obsessed with back in like the RobotUnderscore days. And I also obsessed over Anonymous around that time, right? That's a source filmmaker animator. But yeah, he basically said you gotta find a money leak and stand under it, which basically, you know, equates to like, don't think of getting a job as like something where you have to think about what's out there in the job market or what you could apply to or something, or like what you have to worry about doing every day for 8 hours for the rest of your life. No, just think about it plainly terms of who needs help and who will pay you if you help them, right? So that's how I've been thinking about it. But like I said, I've only been able to think about it recently, and even though I have a pretty good, I'm basically, like I said, I'm going to be moving back into my parents' house, and I think I'll be able to figure it out since I have a pretty good work ethic about it, and I've always loathed college for making me sit around and do these stupid fucking homework assignments when I could putting all my eggs in one basket on doing, like, well, not all eggs in one basket, but, like, all my eggs in only my interests and figure out what I want to do really well, so I'm excited for that. So I'm optimistic about the future, but I am clueless, and I have always been clueless. And to echo a point that I made in a previous Jinjo Mail, no, I will not make Wavetro my living, unless it was like only on donations where I don't have to give anything in return. If like, by some miracle like that, then, you know, maybe. But that'd be like some gargantuan like situation where like I'm at 3 million subs and I'm like, oh my god, he's famous, look at all this money he gets, he doesn't even turn on ads or whatever. Whatever. So entering the ego there a little bit, but yeah, I don't like putting any sort of ads or placement or anyone to hijack my my intentions for my work with Wavetro, because I'm a weird motherfucker like that. So yeah, Wavetro would never be my job. I've already learned that the hard way with, you know, Patreon, and now I'm starting to talk again like the very first Superflight video. I'm talking in circles. God damn it. Hope that answers your question. Number 5. What type of music do you listen to? Oh, I already answered that in the previous Jinjo Mail. I forgot which one it was, but there's another half of this question, though. What's the Pythagorean or Pythagorean theorem? Okay, fuck. Let's see if I remember this. Oh, I thought it was quadratic formula. No, it's easy. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Boom. Easy. Actually, do I remember the quadratic formula? Fuck. Something like B squared plus minus 4AC over 2A square root? Some shit like that? I don't know. You tell me in the comments if I got that right. Oh, I could actually get into a really good tangent about this. Or not a tangent, but like just 2 sentences. My last couple semesters of college have been like... Well, I mean, like in my first half of college, I took care of all like the normal school requirements, you know, like history, math, science, reading or whatever. And so these last few semesters of college have just been like very specialized and very... I mean, a lot easier courses about like, you know, like whatever, like digital media or fucking... I had to take a poetry class this semester for my humanities elective, and it's such a walk in the park. I wish all reading or writing classes were just like that. But you only get that when you go to senior year. You know, you only get it easy when you're near the end. But whatever the case, unless you're in engineering... Why did I pause? Unless you're an engineering student. Otherwise, you just burn in hell for longer. Then you go to master's school, and then you burn in hell even longer. Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I have not been using any of my actual, like... I have forgotten so much of my math knowledge all the way to the high school level. Like, I fucking forgot all of my calculus. I've forgotten most of my algebra. My fucking Swiss cheese brain can only really remember fucking, MDAS, FOIL, which is how you multiply things in parentheses or some shit, factoring or whatever, and bits and pieces of the Pythagorean theorem and fucking quadratic formula. It's all gone. My math knowledge is just fucking gone. And you know what? I'm not afraid because there's fucking Google now. It's like maybe I'm more of a retard for not having this knowledge on me at all times. But I guess what's important is that I was exposed to it at one point. I'll know how to find it again later. And yeah, I've forgotten all my math and I'm just stupid. You know, like I remember at one point in my server, I got so fucking pissed at this image that someone posted of, like, you know, like those things on not, well, I don't go on Twitter anymore, but you know, like those images people post where it's like, solve this math problem, and it preys on you, like, well, preys in like P-R-E-Y-S, it preys on you forgetting like that one thing about math, or like, and then you just like try to solve it, and then your friend gaslights you and they're like, oh no, it is wrong answer, and you're like, oh, it is wrong answer, and it's like, no, it's other wrong answer. It's like, oh, okay, it is, and then it's just a fucking mess, right? And then you put it into Wolfram Alpha, and it turns out it's a completely different correct answer. Yeah. I am no good with math anymore. But yeah, I'm like I said, like I said, like in I think the last video when I was talking about like college, which I'll be talking about more again soon in another video, is that for my situation and my situation alone, I thought this was for everyone, but for me, I just find it so much better if I was able to just be thrown into the world after I finished high school and just figure things out on my own, and then worry about, like, if I need math, I'll just fucking figure it out later when I actually do need it, rather than being, like, sitting down and eating my vegetables and like, doing the fucking thorough math curriculum now as in, like, college, you know? So I'm very excited to finally get the fuck out of this stupid educational system. That being said, not everyone is like, you know, the type to just go out there and figure it out on their own, you know, right? So in that case, you know, the traditional route of finding a job and going to college works better, you know. But whatever the case, don't go to a fucking 4-year college right now unless it's engineering or med school, because it's a fucking scam. That being said, what's next? Oh yeah, this is a final question, and you probably noticed that I blacked it out. Oh no, I redded it out. Because it says you're most likely not going to do it. Can you give me a shout out? No. Okay. That might sound like annoying or like rude or like, why? What the fuck, man? But I wanted to bring this to I wanted to wrap up with like what the fuck is this map? You know, I gotta save this one. I wanted to bring it into a final like conversation about, you know, let's get this annoying clicking noise to stop. Please stop. Please reach the end. Please reach the... there it is. There's the seed if you want to play that map at home on your copy of Superflight. Okay, what I was saying is, there's this thing I've noticed that, honestly, unless you're, like, absolutely grabbing for crumbs off the ground and just trying to get what you can get, I've noticed that shoutouts, or, like... Yeah, shoutouts, specifically, just don't work. If you want people to come to your thing, a shout out is probably like it's probably not going to do you much. You're just going to get empty subscribers, right? And it's I see this also with like what is it? Fucking forgot his name or whatever. Someone like said, "Oh, I have this new channel for like extras or like something else or like a podcast or whatever." And everyone goes and subscribes to it, but then all the views on the video still do dismally anyway because it's not the same as what you originally watched that person for. And it's like, obviously, if you see someone shout out another person, it's like, oh yeah, I'll go be nice, I'll go subscribe to them, right? But very few people actually go check out their video, right? And so the thing I'd say here is, shout-outs aren't going to do you much unless you want to credit someone for, like, doing a small portion of a video or, like, something else, and you're not expecting them to, like, actually get a whole bunch of exposure in general or something, right? And you might be thinking, no, I think I have some good counterexamples. But I think the counterexample is also what my alternative solution that I'm about to propose is. You might be thinking of, because what's better than a shout-out is a collaborating. Because the only way for people to actually convince people to like also check out this other person and stay with that other person is if you actually show a portion of what that person does immediately in front of them, rather than making them click through like a fucking subscribe button, a channel page, and then clicking on a video and sitting through that person's style of video, right? I've like found like, what is it? My longtime favorite, one of my longtime favorite YouTubers, Killy's son, was through Pyrocynical just giving him his own space in the video to, you know, be himself and show his video, and then like, you know, right then and there I immediately know, oh, do I like this guy? I could go follow him, and then I'll actually stick to watching his videos because I know what he's like. Versus, hey everyone, I have a friend here, his name's Bob. Go subscribe to him, shout him out, show him some love. And it's like, well, what the fuck did Bob do? Why should I subscribe to Bob? Why am I gonna watch Bob's shit? You know? What the fuck? I don't give a shit about Bob. I'm sorry, Bob. Fuck off. Okay, no, not fuck off, but you know, that's what subconsciously is going through everyone's head. You may not think that, you may not say that out loud. Obviously, I hope you don't say that out loud, but this is what goes through your head. It's like it goes through your head like without you even realizing. It's like, I'm not gonna watch this person. I don't know what they do. I'll subscribe to them, but I'll never really watch them because I don't have that first impression that this other creator that introduced me or shouted out this person could have actually just shown me, right? So I think people should honestly just push for collabs, because like, one, it obviously like, what is it? It allows you to be less lazy about like getting traffic to your project or videos or whatever, right? It actually makes you like find people who are actually relevant to the stuff you make, so that you can also like not only work on making videos better, but you can also find people who are actually willing to watch your shit, right? Versus, hey guys, Mr. Beast, I paid him, or he paid me $1 billion, and he shouted my name out. Go subscribe to him, and it's like everyone will subscribe, and then no one will watch, right? What Mr. Beast could theoretically do is like, hey guys, I'm going to have some of the video literally made by this guy, and if you like it, you can go subscribe to him. And I don't know if Mr. Beast has done that. I don't watch Mr. Beast, but that would be so much better, because people would be like, oh, not that laugh, what the fuck was that? They're like, oh, that's a pretty cool video, I like that. That was a cool, different change of pace that I also would like to watch, and then you go subscribe to that person, and you see how, like, you want the person to go to your page and already knowing that they want to subscribe to you, like, because, like, you know, the only other way for people to actually get that first impression of you and decide if they like you or not is through the grand old YouTube recommendation algorithm, where people can immediately be expected to click on your video and then to judge for yourself if they like your content, versus getting an empty shout out and then they have to sit there and like saying, okay, do I actually want to click on any of the videos on this person's channel? No, I'll just subscribe and then just never touch the videos again, right? It's just a waste. You got to think about it through collabs. You got to think about it through more, like, relevantly. That's such a stupid word. You have to, like, you know, put more thought into convincing people of a certain audience why they should also watch you. And the way to do that is through, like, literally collaborating or being a part of a video. It doesn't even have to be you doing a part of the video entirely. It could just be you, like, maybe you made a sculpture or a prop for a video and people are saying, oh, that prop is cool, I want to see other props like that. Boom, then they'll go to that channel and get like subscribed and actually watch the videos. So you see how, like, unless it's through the YouTube algorithm, you can't, well, actually, other than the YouTube algorithm, the only way to get people to, like, actually watch your videos and be interested in them, because it's very, very unlikely, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very, very unlikely that people will look at your channel for the first time and be like, oh, cool, that video looks cool, let me try clicking on that. You shouldn't count on that. You should really, really aim to have a way for people to come to the channel knowing that, oh, this is the person that I already saw a video of earlier and I want to check it out and subscribe and look at other stuff, right? That's a shout-out that works, because it's a collaboration and people actually see what you do versus just a name on the screen that they go subscribe to and do nothing with. And then the only other context I can think of where it's like, the only other scenario I can think of is like maybe you're on a Discord server and you're like talking to people saying, oh yeah, check out my channel. It's like, oh yeah, sure, cool thing. And it's like, since it's like you're talking to the person directly or something, right, then they're more inclined to like click through videos or whatever. But you know, that's like one person versus like 1,000 people seeing a shout out and then going to your channel, subscribing, and then doing nothing, you know. I hope all that made sense. Like I said, if you want me to elaborate on some shit, just send me another email. I will sort my shit out and elaborate on it further. But yeah, I hope you understand why shoutouts don't work. Collaborations do. That's a pretty map. Let me save that. And that's all the questions I have for today. Let me get this map's seed number on screen so you can also play it at home if you want to before I do my closing outro. God. There it is. So yeah, on screen right now is my email address if you want to send me, Wavetro, stuff to talk about on this Jinjo Mail series that happens every Sunday. Any email you send to it will be anonymous, so don't worry about being like exposing yourself. Your secrets are safe with me. And yeah, if the email on screen is blurred, like you see a blurry blob in the bottom right, that either means the show has ended or the email for it has changed, in which case you go look at the newest Jinjo Mail to see what it is or whatever. But yeah, that will do it. Let's crash into this wall. Crash into the fucking wall! Oh my god, just die! Oh my fucking god. Crash into the wall. Can't even fucking die properly. Alright. Let's just kamikaze this thin building here. Alright. That'll do it. I will see you next Sunday.